Next is you want to set your goals. The very first thing that I have someone do when I come into the business, if they're trying to go out and build this thing, is set what is your ultimate goal. Okay, you came in this business, what is it you really want to make? It never fails that most people pull a number out that's really high. They'll look at the income disclosure, or they'll look at, what's the number one person making. And I remember I had this guy a while back, and his goal was to be at this certain rank, which is I think about $6 million a year is what this person was making at this rank. And he comes in and he says, that's my goal. I want to be over here, and I want to do it. And I was like, wow, okay. Well, I don't want to be a dream stealer here, but what's the most money you've ever made in your life? He says, oh, like, $60,000 a year. I said, okay, well, the most you've ever made is $60,000 a year. You're trying to make $6 million a year. Why don't we bring it to something a little more realistic? Something, like, let's say $60,000 a year. Let's set that as your ultimate goal, or let's double it. Let's make $120,000 a year. And he's kind of a little bit disturbed by this. He's like, well, I want to make a lot more than that. The problem with somebody setting something unrealistic is that $6 million a year is not even a real number to this guy. I mean, we might as well say a bajillion dollars. What's your goal? Oh, a bajillion dollars. I say, okay, man, let's go for it, because he can't comprehend what $6 million a year is anyway. So he's setting something so unrealistic, he's never going to be able to achieve, because he can't believe it. And that's just the reality. And I think sometimes in this industry, people come in, they see these guys with the yachts and the Ferraris, and yes, that is possible to do in this business. It takes a lot of hard work, though. It takes a lot of years to, out there working this business, and they forget that you don't need to make $6 million a year in order to change your life. If you made $2,000 a month, or if you just made $60,000 a year, that's life changing for a lot of people. And so people set these unrealistic goals, and they're setting themselves up for failure from the beginning. When you bring a new person into the business, make sure that you bring them in, um, and give them the ability to be successful. Set them up from the beginning with realistic long-term goals. Here's what I told him. I said, and by the way, he also wanted to do it in 6 months, um, which, is pretty funny. But let people have a chance of success. Have them set realistic goals from the beginning that are achievable with hard work, and have people look at this as a long-term business. Do not get into the habit, even if people are doing it, of setting six-figure residual incomes in 6 months and a year and things like that. Set it out 2, 3 years, 4 years, 5 years. That's the best thing that I ever learned in this industry, is that this is a long-term business. Take a realistic approach to it, and more people be successful. I told him, I said, it's the best thing about setting a goal like this? We can always change it. If we go out and we make $120,000 a year, and it happens in 3 months or 4 months or 6 months, we can always set it higher right after. But it seems like a small thing, but set people's expectations correctly from the beginning, and set those, ultimate long